Tonight on the Cavalier Connection, we recap the Who's big win over Coastal Carolina last weekend. We also talk to future defensive back 2025 Virginia commit Montino Williams Jr. We will give our best three bets and share this week's Cavalier Gold Play of the Week. All of this and more tonight on the Cavalier Connection. Welcome in to tonight's edition of the Cavalier Connection. I'm your host tonight, Jeff, and I'm joined by my co-host, Jay. How you doing tonight, Jay?
Doing great. Coming off a big win this weekend, and good news for the Who's we'll be talking about.
No doubt. So we're gonna just get right into it. The Who's moved to 3-1 as they defeated Coastal Carolina 43-24 last weekend behind a stellar running game. Coastal fumbled the opening kickoff, so set us up right from the start. We recovered that, and we never looked back. So we were led on the ground by Xavier Brown, 171 yards on just 9 carries. Kobe Pace added 57, Calandria 46, Greasy 38, and there were more yards from other guys as well. Calandria only had to throw the ball 20 times, 131 yards, 2 touchdowns, and even bigger than that, no interceptions. Malachi Fields, pedestrian day, 4 catches, 65 yards, but 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
and
pedestrian about that.
Yeah, yep. A pedestrian for him, I guess is how I should put it. It's a game that was never in question. What were your thoughts from Saturday's game, Jay?
Yeah, I was just really happy to see them, kind of put their foot on the throat a little bit with somebody finally. We kind of did with Richmond, but that's Richmond. So, you kind of look at that one a little bit differently. But to come out and, we beat Wake Forest, but it was a tight game where we had to make a big comeback in the fourth quarter. And then the Maryland game, we all know that was a disappointing effort, especially in the second half. So really wanted to see how the guys would respond. We've talked about this team. We feel like they're a good team. We feel like this is a different year. But we also, I think I wrote about it and probably talked about it too, that they really had to prove it. We've seen enough over the years with previous teams that, you have to see it to believe it sometimes. And even though we believed it, that they could, bounce back, it was nice to see. And it didn't take long. Like you said, the fumble on the opening kickoff, what better way to start? Get that quick touchdown, didn't have to settle for 3. A little back shoulder throw to Malachi. He could have hit him with the too small because that was just a mismatch. And then just kind of mauled them. And that's what you and I, we love old school smash mouth. And even though you're running shotgun and you're running hurry up and those things, it was a mauling. Physically, we just crushed them. And I think we just kind of took their spirit. We dominated time of possession. They couldn't get us off the field, whether it was Xavier or Kobe or Jack. All the guys were grinding out yards. Xavier especially, hit the big home run there with a 75-yarder, even though it didn't go to the house. But, man, good to see. Calandria pretty much could have taken the day off. He hit a couple throws when he needed to, moved the chains with his legs a few times when he needed to. But really just kind of managed that game and let the O-line work. And they just, they outmanned them. And let's be real, an ACC school should do that to a Sun Belt team, right?
Sounds like Mac Brown talking.
Yeah, it didn't go his way Saturday at all. What a mauling that they had put on them. I watched the first half when JMU put up 53 on them, and I'm like, these cats might hang 100 if they want to. I mean, they slowed down a lot in the second half. I didn't see it, so I don't know if it was like kind of on purpose, but yeah, I mean, we could have easily scored 50 there at the end. Coach Elliott did what I would say is the right thing by not running it up. And in fact, I think he could have probably taken knees there a couple of plays earlier. I don't know if he was hoping they'd break one where he'd say, well, I mean, what do you want me to do? I mean, we're just running the ball right up the gut. I mean, I don't know what you want me to do. But, took that knee on the last play. And the defense, solid overall, gave up a couple pass plays you don't want to see, giving up some longer plays. I think I saw a stat where we've given up like the 4th most plays of 30 yards or more in the country. So we've got to stop some of those big plays as we move forward and kind of get into the meat of the schedule.
And Coastal came in undefeated, and they're no, like as you said, like a Richmond or on the road. We were told it's a party environment. So, and all the prognosticators or whatever you call them, we're saying Virginia was in for a long day. But to be able to get started like that with a fumble recovery and then hit what Malachi Fields on just manhandling down there in the end zone, it's a great start. So to go on the road and win that game is nothing to sneeze at. You can't take a team like Coastal Carolina for granted. And I mean, were we 2.5 point favorites going in, right?
Yep.
Nothing to take for granted. What's your thoughts on the blue turf?
Well, I'm going to include this in thoughts on the whole broadcast. What a horrible broadcast that was. Like, when I saw highlights on like ESPN later or ACC Network later, I can't remember which one, I was like, man, that actually looks like it was a good broadcast. Like the game looked totally different than when I was watching it on ESPN Plus. So I don't know if that was on me or on the broadcast, but man, that turf made it tough. And reading from like Jackie and some of the other reporters that were there, said it was really hot down there on the turf. So yeah, and what I also thought about too was the offensive line. We did that 384 yards rushing, the most since 1998, with at least 2 starters out, and then 2 key reserves out on the O-line. So, man, if we can get Boley healthy, which I think we will, Whitmer can work in more so as needed, as a rotation guy, and get some of these other guys back. You could be looking at a team that's pretty dangerous.
Yeah, for me, it's tough to watch that game on the blue turf. It just make the picture so terrible. And I don't know if it's just watching on the blue turf to go along with the coverage on ESPN Plus. Jay and I know Jay was posting, we're here. You can hire us. In fact, I'm gonna just I'll go ahead and throw this one out there right now. The next time the game is on ESPN Plus, free work. Just put us in the booth. There's no charge.
Travel. I'll pay to go.
I'll get there. You put us in the booth. We're gonna do a better job.
Did you hear the girl in the background like ooh ooh ooh? Like
I heard some stuff in the background. So full disclosure, I didn't watch. I watched all the first 3 quarters and I watched half of the fourth. There's a blowout. Had some personal situation going on that I need to step away for. But so I was behind. I was, coached a baseball game, so I had to, I was behind in the game. I'm watching it recorded, so I don't know what's going on. So I'm fast forwarding between plays, trying to catch up as best I can. So I wasn't listening to much of the commentary. I've heard it was terrible.
It was awful.
And the bad thing about ESPN Plus too is, I can't just record that game. So you have to watch commercials. So I can't fast forward through commercials. And then halftime, there's no halftime to fast forward through. They just keep going to commercials. So I couldn't get caught back up, and I really needed to get out of here. And so after the third, it was such a blowout. I had to step away. So,
It's
but
hard
yeah,
to believe in this day and age that a Virginia game would not be on TV,
I agree.
especially like
And
a good regional game like that.
right. So, but we're out there. It's Ball Hawk. Speak to the powers that be.
That's right.
Tell them Jay and Jeff are here. We're ready to go. We will get in that booth and we'll do our best. And
So
I
I
can
do
tell
want to
you,
explain one thing. If people saw at halftime, I had made a comment right before halftime about poor clock management. And, the ball hawk came back and said, nah, fam, that was, smart. They were playing cover 2 or 2 high safety or something like that. And, they took the throwaway. But my point was, and I said, completely respect him. He's the expert. We're fans. But a good defensive team, you run the ball. What should they have done, Jeff? A good defensive team. There's 14 seconds when you snapped it, I think.
right.
You run the football with no timeouts. What should they do?
No, just let them keep running. You talking
Or
about
hold you up. Yeah, just
right.
grab you and kind of hold you.
Right.
And then tackle you, and then the clock runs out. Because as it was, they tackled him. If they were just a second slower, we don't get that field goal at the end. And that was my point, was not that necessarily the run wasn't a good play call if you had a timeout. But in that situation, it worked out. So all's well and good. But I think a good team who's well coached, not that they're not all, and well coached in that situation.
Right. And also, those kicks were they kind of looked like us in my backyard back in the day, kicking over the shed.
Yeah, they were Charlie
There were
Huff
some knuckleballs, but they went through.
R.A. Dickey.
Yeah, they went through. So
yeah, we'll take them. We'll take them.
Yeah, every point we'd take. But excited to get the win. We're 3-1. We get a bye week. Hopefully we can get healthy and get ready for BC here in just a couple weeks. We got Boston College at noon. And then you got Blue White at 6.
Saturday. Good win.
So that's an exciting day, boy. Dang, what's his face has Boston College rolling. O'Brien. Old school methods. They still find a way to old school still winning football.
And Castellanos is a good quarterback.
Castellanos is fun to watch. He's fun to watch.
He's a handful.
I say he's gonna be a challenge for our defense.
No, for sure. He's gonna be tough.
Yep. So, all right. So we talked about last week's game. Now we're going to talk about the future as we welcome to the show 2025 commit Matoka High senior Montino Williams Jr. Montino, how are you doing this evening?
Doing real good this evening.
That's great. So you've started your senior year of high school. How's the fall football season going so far?
Doing real good. We started off hot. We're on the streak right now, and we're looking forward to keeping it up.
Nice. Have you got any new huddle highlight worthy plays yet?
Yes, sir. I actually had a pick 6 recently this past game. I have an updating day. I'll be quick to get that up.
Oh, man, that's awesome. I can't wait to see it. I know last year you guys played in the state semis. Does this team have the talent to make that kind of run this year?
Of course, and we're looking to do bigger and better things this year also.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you still playing corner this year, right?
They actually moved me down to nickel so I can be more run heavy support.
Okay. So what do you see as your strengths in that role?
I can really control the field while also playing the pass and just running up my stats for real.
So do you? I assume that in Matoka you're playing offense and defense.
Yes, sir.
So what do they have you doing on offense? Playing receiver?
Offense. Right now I'm at receiver, running back, and it depends what formation or personnel we're in. I'll maybe go at tight end, but I'm just helping my team score for real and win games.
He's an athlete, Jay.
That's right. Any chance? What has the coaches at Virginia told you? Most guys don't play both ways in college. I mean, Is that anything like that you would want to try to do, or have they said we see you more as a defensive player?
I'm mainly a defensive player, but it was definitely put on the table that I could maybe get in there a few reps at running back or even return the ball.
Okay, awesome. Any NFL players that you like to kind of model your game after or study?
Really, when I was at corner, I really focused on like Darius Slay when he was on the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like guy, and he's like real patient, takes everything slow, and I love how he studies the game.
Yeah,
You mentioned Darius Slay. Do you have a favorite NFL team or the Eagles your team?
I don't have a favorite NFL team actually.
Okay. Well, I guess that is going to be whoever drafts you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you had offers from several D1 schools. Tell us what schools offered and what led you to choose Virginia.
My top 5 was really Pitt, Minnesota, UVA, and ODU, and which led me to like choose UVA was like I had a stronger bond with them over the other schools, and I could just trust them throughout the process and make me put myself in a position where I just knew when I committed, I was going to have the next 4 years to just grind to get to that next level.
Nice. On tape and just in this podcast, you look like a man playing against boys at times with your size and skills. Do you believe you can get on the field as a first-year freshman?
In my head, yes. I built my body up to where I've prepared myself for the next level now, so I'm just trying to get into the flow of things and help me achieve new goals on the next level.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, from watching that tape, I think you could have played college ball as like a junior in high school.
Yeah.
I mean, physically, what are you? You're going like 6'2", like 225?
Yeah, 6'2", 215 around there.
Okay. Yeah, you got that size already that a lot of guys have to really put on weight when they get there. So when the weight, strength and conditioning coaches get a hold of you, man, good gosh, they're going to mold you into just an NFL body. I can tell you that. So what were your impressions of Coach Elliott when you met with him and the rest of the coaching staff, and who was your lead recruiter?
When I first met him, it was like I understood what he was trying to do and how he was trying to build the program. And he spoke with me and my mom on how the process was going to be for me in the next 4 years and helping me like really achieve my goals and my mindset. And probably the number one recruiter was Coach Downing. He like made me think about my decision, was patient with me, and really helped me like be secure on what decision I made and what was going to like really be my best benefit or whatever I do.
Now, we talked to a lot of commits, as you know, we talked to one of your classmates. Coach Elliott seems to win over all the moms. Did your mom fall in love with Coach Bennett too, or Coach Elliott too?
Yeah, my mom, my grandma, grandpa, everybody fell in love with on the visit. And
I don't know what it is. He must be a charming dude, because every person we talk to is like, man, my mom just loved Coach Elliott and said that's where I'm going to go. So Virginia has quite the class next year, including, like I said just a second ago, your high school teammate, Dylan Newton-Short. What is UVA getting in Dylan?
Dylan is like an explosive receiver. He's hardworking. And, on the field, the tape speaks for itself. He's like top in the state, clearly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's easy to see you guys standing out on tape. Have you had a chance to connect with any of the other recruits from the 25 class?
Yes, sir. I've spoken to Ede. Yeah, he's another and we're starting to like build a relationship throughout this process too.
Yeah, you think you'll room with Dylan when you get there, or do they give you a choice, or how does that work?
And Dylan, I might go crazy a couple of days.
So are there any guys that maybe haven't committed to the class of 25 yet? They're still out there that you're trying to get to join you at UVA?
There hasn't been too many. The select few that we had, we ended up getting them on board with it, and we're just like taking our time with it.
Awesome.
So have you seen the new football facility? And if so, I'm pretty sure I know what your favorite part was, but what was your favorite part and your thoughts in comparison to other schools that you visited?
My favorite part was the weight room. I just like how I wasn't really comparing it to other schools, but just being there, it just like keeps me like motivated and just feeling comfortable around in my own personal space.
Nice. So how about the subject of NIL? How was that presented to you as a recruit, and how does that compare to other schools?
It was really brought to us through a AD almost. Like they had their own select person to talk about NIL deals and stuff, and they're just letting us know that we'll have people helping us throughout the way, like with our money benefits and things like that.
Okay. So what role has your previous youth coaches, parents, and or high school coaches played in your academic success and your football development?
Well, I've been in the same location my whole life, and everybody's all in the same area, so they've all been real close, helping me get through the next level. And like Coach Stutes, he helped like mainly most of the work in the back rooms when nobody was looking, and I appreciate him for that.
Nice.
Oh yeah. So let me ask you, Montino, have you had a chance to watch much of the Who's this year, and what are your thoughts so far on how things are going?
Things are actually going real good for the Who's. I've been to 2 home games, and I most recently watched the Wake Forest game, and it went real good. I like how it went.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I guess you didn't get to see the Coastal game. You probably read about it or heard about it, but the boys racked up 384 yards of rushing yardage, which I mean they just mauled them guys. Team's 3-1 right now, off to a great start. The NCAA football 2025 video game came out this summer, and most of the guys your age and even Jeff and I play it. So, do you have the game, and what are your thoughts on being on the game in the future?
I actually do have the game. I played it when it first came out, and just being in the game will feel amazing. Just being able to put my character, just something to think about.
Yeah, Jeff and I, we have to create ourselves if we want to be in the game. But one day you're gonna have yourself, and like I can only imagine how cool it is to look up there and see your name, and you didn't have to create it. You know what I mean? That's gonna be awesome for you. So let me ask you this, Montino. Has anybody talked to you? You're a Virginia kid. Has anybody talked to you? You probably already know about the rivalry with Virginia Tech and what that game means to the fans.
Yeah, people have spoken to me like countless times about it. My old teammate Keyshawn Burgos actually goes there, so it'd be like crazy to play against him when I get there.
Oh wow! So is he's there right now? You say he's there? He's at Virginia Tech right now?
So Montino, is there a message you'd like to send out to all the Wahoo fans?
Just know that when I get there, I'm looking to make the program even better than what it is now, and I'm just trying to get to that final destination that Coach Elliott has in mind.
Awesome. We can't wait to get you there. So to wrap up our interview, we like to do a little fast money round of rapid fire questions. You up for that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Favorite color?
Red.
Red. Okay. Favorite food?
Pizza.
Pizza. I love pizza. Favorite shoe brand?
Nike.
Nike. Favorite Gatorade color?
Blue.
Blue. Who's the football GOAT?
Randy Moss, maybe.
Randy Moss.
Okay. Yeah.
He's a stud. What song do you like to listen to before a game?
Probably Me Versus Me by Chucky.
Okay. Favorite sport other than football?
Basketball.
Do you have a favorite team of that sport? No. Okay. Are you an early riser or late nighter?
Late nighter.
Late nighter. If you could meet and talk to any one person you wanted, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
My grandma, because she just helps me get through those days, some tough times.
Do you have a favorite movie?
The B movie.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite vacation spot or place you want to visit?
California. I've been there countless times.
Okay, Cali. Favorite place to eat?
Outback.
Outback. Oh, that's some good eating.
I love that
All
blooming onion.
right. Yeah. And last one, person you look up to the most?
My mom.
Your mom. So, Montino, we really appreciate your time and coming on the show. We wish you the best of luck in your football season here as you finish up your senior year. And we look forward to seeing you in the fall. And if you're at any of the home football games, we'll be looking for you.
Got you.
All right. Have a great evening.
Yeah, good luck. Go win that state championship.
Yes,
All
sir. We'd like to thank Montino for his time. Great interview. Great young man to talk to. I guess when he gets to school at Virginia, they're going to just have to be working to get the NFL body ready because that dude's jacked. He looks like he wants to hit a receiver coming over the middle, old school style.
Yeah, him and Cam are going to be a problem in a couple of years. You put Cam as a senior and Montino is like a sophomore with him.
Yeah,
Whew.
yeah. Don't run over the middle of the field.
Mm.
Before we continue, we'd like to tell you all about our partner with Genesis Gold Group. Jay, I know that both of us are getting to the age. As you could tell, I can't speak, I can't read, but we're getting to the age of getting to a safe retirement being on our mind. What is safer, Jay, than a gold or silver IRA? And this is what
nothing.
Absolutely nothing. And this is what you can get with Genesis Gold Group. In today's uncertain world, securing your financial future is more important than ever. That's why we've partnered with Genesis Gold Group to introduce you to a smarter way to protect your savings. With a gold IRA, you're not just saving, you're investing in the stability and enduring value of gold. Let's get prepared, not just for the next harvest, but for our financial future. Go to cavaliergold.com and secure your future with a gold IRA. That's cavaliergold.com. And speaking of Cavalier Gold, that's going to lead us to our Cavalier Gold play of the week. And here's what we got.
And off to Brown. He finds room, still on his feet, across the 40, out near midfield, tiptoes the sideline, somehow stays in bounds, and finally dragged down inside the 15, all the way down to the 10.
That is our Cavalier Gold play of the week. And, it's hard to find, a play for the Cavalier Gold play of the week. There's so many plays to look at. And Virginia just grinded it out on Saturday. That was a big, I think, 75-yard run. You see him tiptoe down that sideline. The dude is so fast. And he didn't score, but that was an amazing play. Plenty of choices. You had Malachi with the 2 touchdown catches, but it's only fitting. Xavier Brown is highlighted with the Cavalier Gold play of the week because the performance he put on was unbelievable. Quite the show.
9 carries for 171 yards.
Reminds me of Tiki Barber or something running in that backfield.
Been a long time since we've had somebody do that.
Yeah. Back in our day, it was just a train of running backs. As one leaves, the next one comes in. The Barbers, the Jones, the Thomas Jones. It was just one after another. And it's good to see us be able to run the ball like that. So, congratulations to Xavier Brown as our Cavalier Gold play of the week. Couple of nuggets to talk about here. It is basketball coming up. Basketball season will be here before you know it. And as excited as we are for the 2024 season, Coach Bennett was at work again, and he brought in the local, staying home in Charlottesville, closing the deal with Chance Mallory. Chance, I think he's ranked 57th nationally by 24/7 Sports. Probably by the end of his senior year, probably even higher than that. A great get for Coach Bennett at the point guard position. I guess you could call us point guard. Jay, what are your thoughts on Chance?
Yeah, he was a big get for the program because, one, he's right in your backyard. You don't want to let talent like that leave. We were able to get Kimura, from the same school for the girls program.
Right.
She's come in and had such an impact on that program. And I think there's a good chance that Chance could do the same at Virginia for the men's team. I think he's going to be the point guard for 4 years. He's a little undersized at 5'9". Not to say he's done growing by the time, nothing says he couldn't get to, 5'10", 5'11", maybe. But when you watch him play, he doesn't play like he's 5'9". He's swatting shots down in the paint. He's coming over from the help side to block shots. He's driving into the lane and finishing over bigger guys. And his shot is pure. His handle is just ridiculous. I mean, and he's 5'9", but he's a stout 5'9". He's got a college body already, even though he's at that 5'9" height. So super excited. The rumors are we're going to play faster this year. We'll see very soon if that is actually a true statement. But I gotta believe there's some truth to it because Mallory's going to want to play up tempo. That's how he plays. And I don't know that he would have chosen Virginia without some kind of guarantee from Coach Bennett that, hey, we're going to loosen the reins a little bit on the offensive side.
Yep. And we didn't want to lose him to Virginia Tech. I know they were in on him. That'd have been a tough L considering he's in Charlottesville.
I don't know how much you consider him. I almost feel like that was a stick it to Tech. Like, I'm going to put you in my final two just to break your heart,
Yeah. I don't mind it. I know he's listed at 5'9", but, he may grow some more, but in the media book, he'll be 5'11". Sure. You can add 2 inches to that.
Oh, yeah. Although he might really be 5'7", Jeff.
Yeah, that's true. Might be 5'7".
He might already have those 2 inches given to him,
That's true. Yeah. Well, also, the men's basketball ACC schedule was just released. The Hoos, they'll face at home. Their first home game will be against NC State. They got NC State, Louisville, SMU, Boston College, Notre Dame, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, Duke, Clemson, and FSU at home. Then I believe they opened the season at SMU for a road schedule, but they play SMU, Cal, and Stanford on the road. Those are their first 3 road games, actually. So we're hitting the whole West Coast /
first road ACC games, not games on the schedule. Just
first road ACC games. Yes. Also travel to Louisville, Miami, Pitt, Virginia Tech, Carolina, Wake, and Syracuse. So only playing Carolina once, only playing Duke once. Anything stand out on that schedule, TJ? I know we got a pretty tough schedule in conference as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty brutal schedule. And there's a couple things. One, January 8th, we're on the West Coast on a Wednesday night with an 11 p.m. Eastern tip time. That's going to be tough. Imagine if we want to do a post-game show. We'll be starting the post-game show at 1 a.m.
The last time we played at that time was not a good night.
I'm trying to remember.
UMBC. We had that late night.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Start time.
Yeah.
It did not end well.
No.
If we had a post-game show after that immediately, it might be our biggest show we've ever done.
But have we ever started the game at 11 o'clock? I don't know if we've ever started one that late.
What time was that game start? It started close to that time. It was late. Wow. It was the latest game you could have.
Yeah,
we were the only show in town.
Well, I'm thinking that game started around 9, maybe 9:30.
I think it started later than that. I know it started later than that, but I don't remember the exact time.
11 o'clock though, that's rough.
While you're talking, I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah. But so we're on the West Coast for 2. I think we play a Wednesday, Saturday, so at least we knock out 2 of those games, in one trip, because we'll be there, and then the other standout stretch is, I think it's February 15th through the 26th. We go to Virginia Tech on a Thursday, I don't have it in front of me. But Duke is just a couple of days later. It's a short turnaround. It might be Thursday to Saturday turnaround. And then at Carolina. So you're going at Virginia Tech, Duke at home. And while, Wake Forest is not on the level of UNC or Duke, and certainly not a rival game like Virginia Tech, any road game in the ACC after that 3-game gauntlet is going to be tough. So that's a tough stretch. And then, the game with Villanova and Baltimore, that's a big one.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be a big one early in the year to kind of get just a gauge on how we are looking early against a pretty stiff competition. And then we got Tennessee on the schedule.
Florida again.
Yeah, Florida at Florida is a part of the ACC SEC Challenge. It's not an easy schedule, but the good part of that is you don't have to win as many games when it comes to the tournament because you'll have that strength of schedule.
Right.
You could be like Clemson last year, who was like a lot to get in and was just because their schedule was difficult. You can win one or two of those and it helps you tremendously. So I'm looking forward to basketball for sure. I don't want to wish football away because football has my heart more than anything, if I'm being honest. But basketball's right there. Basketball's right there.
It's close. They're close. Basketball success at Virginia has elevated for a lot of Virginia fans.
Yeah.
From everything.
Football has my heart just because I love the fall.
Right. I'm with you.
Temperatures are starting to cool down. You get the leaves changing, and it's a great time of year temperature wise. And
Charlottesville is a pretty place in the fall.
Gorgeous. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous.
And that game time, you were right. It was 9:20.
Okay.
But it may have started a little bit late too.
Oh,
I know it was after midnight when the thing ended. I didn't say very many nice things to people who were blowing my phone up. It was a situation, people get their family and friends broken up over politics. I was ready to get my family and friends broken up over Virginia basketball losing to UMBC.
Could you imagine if we'd have if we had a podcast at that point and had to go live?
Yeah. Jay, a couple things could have happened. Number one, it'd been the biggest podcast we probably ever done.
Yes.
Number two, UVA, they just wouldn't be too happy with us and the rest of the fans on the podcast. We're just going to keep it right at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the disappointment level and the stuff coming out of my mouth, my parents might not have been too thrilled with me either.
Yeah.
I just said, don't tune in.
But on the flip side, that national championship, I wish we'd had a pod then.
Yes. Yeah. If going live there, holy cow. Once again,
I had to go out and buy some champagne or something so I could flip it out.
Dancing around. I just can't imagine. I wish we had it going in. And hopefully, we'll be running a after national title podcast here in the coming years for
That'd
something.
Be awesome, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So it's about time to wrap this one up. So as we wrap it up every week. We like to give our best three bets. We're going to take a look at the standings, but I got to tell you, if you're following any of us and you're laying down money, you might want to think twice.
We apologize.
We apologize, and you might want to think twice. We're going to take a look at these standings, and right now, I'm still out in front there at a 3-5-1. That's rough. We got Jack and Jay bringing up the rear at 3-6 each.
Last year, man, if you didn't have this standings graphic last year, I was killing it. Every week was 2-1, 3-0.
Yeah, well, so far we're 3 weeks in, and things are not looking great. But you get
the graphic, and I can't buy a winning week.
Yeah. Your picture looks like you're looking at the screen trying to figure something out there. Jack's got a little grin on his face, like, yeah, I'm getting America right now.
Check
man.
out Jack from 6 to 9 a.m.
Yeah.
on Fox
So
Sports.
yeah, Fox Sports Radio AM 1310. Tune in to Fox Sports the Drive,
Morning Drive with
the
Johnny
Morning
D.
Drive with Johnny D. They're on YouTube. They're on AM 1310 if you're in Hampton Roads. Check them out. Jack's just as bad on that show as he is with us. I think his record was coming into last week was 3-9. So if you want to make some picks and you want to win some money, just log into that show. They do their 6-pack of picks every week, and just bet the opposite of Jack, and you're gonna win.
For sure.
Number one. Number two, you could bet the opposite of the host Johnny D as well. Because I'm gonna just tell you right now, I took Johnny D one of his parlays this weekend, and and 1 out of 3 legs hit, and that was supposed to be a one of those money line parlays that are, we're looking at minus 300s and all added up to a minus 105.
Jeff, I had a money line parlay. I would have bet. I should have bet more, and I'm glad I didn't because I'd lost. But I was so sure this was going to hit, and it got me to like plus one. I want to say it was like plus 150, but it was the Jets over the Patriots. Winner, chicken dinner. Feeling good going into Sunday. Got one leg down. The next 2 legs, the Bucks over the Broncos.
Yep.
And the Browns over the Giants.
Yep.
And neither one of them things hit.
Yep.
I couldn't believe it.
It's rough. If you think
I'm not saying that this year. I do love
that.
I love my picks this week.
If you think you know something about the NFL, you got to think again this year so far, because I know nothing. Everything I think I know nothing.
Yeah.
You just
and before we get into this, I just want one thing, because you like to bring up the fantasy sometimes. And earlier this year in shows, you were talking about fantasy baseball, and I just want to let the people know.
Am I going to make the playoffs?
The championship game is ongoing. And there's one of us are in it, and
it's not me.
It ain't Jeff.
Who are you playing? This shame on me, but go ahead. Tell me who you're playing.
I'm playing Charlie.
I figured you were playing a little Ballard. Shame on me. I just let it go. I just stopped. Once fantasy football got around, and we were really rolling with the podcast, and we got guests coming, and I just let it.
Excuses.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. I said shame on me. Shame on me. Well, congratulations to you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Well, let's get into these picks. What do we want to do? You want me to give Jack's picks first, or
yeah, go ahead and give Jack's.
So, if you want to win money, pay attention very closely here. Bet the opposite. We got Jack's got the Bengals -4 at Carolina, and you got to think: are the Bengals going to finally get a win? But is the redhead? What's Andy Dalton's nickname?
Red Rocket.
Is the Red Rocket or whatever he is playing his former team at home in Carolina? Gonna pull out some more magic this coming week. I didn't see what they did last week.
I don't think they covered 3.5. I think it's Cincinnati by 3.
So he's got Bengals -4. He's got the Rams in Chicago +3. I don't know what to make of the Bears. I don't know what to make of the Rams. There's injuries all over the place. That's a game I just didn't want to mess with myself at all.
Right.
Then he's got the Eagles and the Bucks over 44. And I mean, I got to tell you, I don't know. It could go either way. If you looked at both of those teams last week, you say, are they going to get 30 points? Because the Eagles barely scored anything against the Saints, and the Bucks. I mean, who saw the Bucks losing to Denver like that?
Right.
So he's got over 44 in the Eagles and Bucks game. You want to go next, Jay?
Sure. So my first game, I'm going to take the Packers -2.5 over the Vikings. I love this Packers team. I think there's a good chance Love is back this week, as I know you're happy about if you get him in your fantasy lineup.
Yeah, I almost want him to. Since I won last week, I almost want him to sit out another week just to health up a little bit. I'm just worried about
I just think Sam Darnold's luck is going to run out here a little bit. The game's in Green Bay. All I got to do is win by field goal, and I like Green Bay in that one. My second one is probably the one I feel the best about, which means it's probably a loser. But I'll take Denver at the Jets under 39.5. Those offenses, Aaron Rodgers played a great game last week. Can he play 2 in a row against a tough defense that just sacked Baker Mayfield, I think, 8 times?
That's you said, is it 39.5? You said
39.5 is what I got it at.
I thought both of these bets, both of these I didn't pick. Both of them were in strong consideration for me, though.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Well, so that's probably my favorite. The Denver team, I don't know that they score. First of all. Right. I don't think they scored more than 10.
Right.
And so that leaves a lot of points for the Jets to get. All right. So my last bet, man, I just got to go for a winner. I got to go for a winner. Pittsburgh -1.5 at Indianapolis. Tomlin's going to do it again. The man just don't lose. I picked them to win 5 games. They're going to be starting 4-0.
All 3 of yours, I'm surprised. So that's 9 games picked. None of our stuff are duplicated, and I considered that one as well. So I went all over unders in my picks. I got Browns and Raiders under 37. Just 2 horrendous offenses, and so we'll see.
That's a low number, but again, both teams have struggled mightily.
They're so bad on offense that they'll probably go off this week for each of them score 27 or 27-24. Tomorrow night, Cowboys and Giants. I went over 45. Neither defense is any good. The Commanders went down the field 7 times on the Giants and scored only field goals. The Cowboys are a desperate team. I think Dallas is really going to score. I really think Dallas is going to cover a spread tomorrow night, actually. But it's kind of high. I was too scared of it. I think it was 6.5, 7.5.
It's 6.5. That's all.
6.5. But Dallas's defense has been terrible too.
Yeah.
So I could see that. What's that?
I looked at that one.
I could see Dallas. I see Dallas winning this game something like 31-20 or something. We'll see.
So you're saying that it's a good night for me to start Dak and CD,
yes,
and Jake Ferguson and Singletary from the Giants, because I got all of them.
Yeah,
and they're all in.
Listen, it's a good night to have Dak. I do believe it's a good night to get right. And this past week, Dak got right because they were down by so much.
Right.
My last one, I was in your Steelers-Colts game. Okay. But I'm taking the under 40 points. I mean, the Steelers are going to – I think the Steelers are going to win too. And I think the Steelers are going to win like 17-10. That Colts offense, I mean, Anthony Richardson, it's just it's bad. It is. Anthony Richardson will hit – I want to call it luck on an 80-yard touchdown bomb. But, my God, he's wild. The ball's all over the place.
How good is Jaden Daniels?
Jaden Daniels is something special. I mean, this guy, the thing is, the difference between him and like a Lamar Jackson, his arm talent and the accuracy of which he throws the football, if he can stay healthy,
right?
I mean, my God, that's a special talent.
I mean, I was just amazed watching that game. It was literally like a video game where you just know they can't stop you.
Right.
21 to 23 on an open field. I couldn't throw 21 for 23.
Right. And these were not dump downs, screen passes, a little 5 yard. I mean, these were clutch 4th down plays. Just a quick shout out in the fantasy football league, Chris Jenkins, number 1 pick. Keeper league, just so the folks know, it is a keeper league. So this is why, a number 1 pick would go here. But
4 keepers.
4 keepers, 2 quarterback league. You play 2 quarterbacks. So quarterback is premium. And the first pick, Chris Jenkins took Caleb Williams as a Commander fan. And he's got to be hurt right now because, boy, the real deal went to catch him.
Yeah, you saw no response to the group chat.
Yeah, he's a little on the ill side. All them picks he had, he's still looking for win number 1.
Yeah.
But listen, my team is just falling apart at the seams. I got like 6 guys out. I mean, it's gonna come to a point. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. Like, there's guys I can't release. And I got people on the IR that are available to play this week. It looks like, but I'm gonna have to move them to the active roster. I don't know. ESPN and some of these guys. AJ Brown's out. He's not playing this week. They still got him as questionable. I can't get him on the IR to move somebody up into the roster.
I hate how they do that.
It's annoying, but that's a disappointment for the Jenkins crew.
Well, I can tell you that Juwan, I picked up Juwan Jennings Sunday morning. That was a tinker stinker lineup change, and the tinker stinker. If you don't know what that is,
tune into the league.
But that was the tinker stinker mover of the week right there, signing Juwan Jennings, and then playing the Red Rocket.
It sure was. And before we get off here, so we have the other league with Jack, and I was debating between Jennings and the guy from the Rams.
Tutu?
No. Anyway, I started the Rams player over Jennings. Like, I signed the Rams player over Jennings. I debated between the two, but I'm like, the Rams have nothing this week. Puka's out.
Right.
Kupp was out. And the 49ers still had Ayuk. And that was a mistake. I got a win still, but it was a mistake.
Yeah, that league, my team in that league is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm 2-1 in that one too, but it's not very good. I'd like my other league's team if I can have the health. But
the main league team for me is mid at best.
I think the main league team for me, I got a shot with health because Nico Brown, be able to have him with AJ Brown. Nico Collins with AJ Brown and Ayuk, if Ayuk could get going. And I win the game with Dallas Goedert's performance and the Jets defense. Because I have the problem for me is I have no quarterback play. I got Jordan Love, who's been hurt. I got Trevor Garbage Lawrence. And Baker Mayfield, the first week I didn't start him, he went off, and since then he's got me nothing. Justin Fields, I've got him on the roster. I didn't start him last week. He had a good week. So I can't figure
I can always trade you to Red Rocket.
Right. I'm going to stick with what I got.
Year, obviously.
We'll be sticking with what I got for now. But anyway, nobody gives a crap. Just so you know, Jay, nobody gives a crap about our fantasy football league. They're tuning out.
They care about their fantasy teams, and I guarantee you there's some people out there who did the same thing, or they didn't, and they thought about it.
Yeah.
And they're like, daggone it. I wish I'd have done
that. I'm sure, but they've just tuned us out. They are not listening to us right now. If you listen to this far in this episode, could you please comment? This one will be released on Thursday, and please put a comment in on X or on YouTube and let us know you listened. And speaking of that, we need everybody.
Hashtag, Jeff, for anybody that makes it to this point.
The hashtag CC Fantasy.
Yeah.
CC Fantasy.
Hashtag CC Fantasy. Just put that comment. Let us know. Hey, I listened to that point. I heard.
Yes. Yeah. Put in hashtag CC Fantasy. You'll make our day. And speaking of it, just give us a follow on X at Talk UVA Sports. Instagram, we got Instagram. _Cavalier_connection_ Facebook and YouTube at the Cavalier Connection. Tons of content there. Check us out. Give us a like and a follow, please. And I hate to beg on here, but we just need a couple more likes, couple more follows. And we're not hard to find. Just today, our good friend Maceo, who's helped us out with some of our guests, called me. He's like, "Oh, after Cornell Parker, y'all ain't had no more episodes." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I said, How do you watch? He says on the YouTube channel. I said, number one, have you subscribed? No. Create an account.
How is Maceo not subscribed?
Create an account and subscribe. He's old school, very old school. He comes into the manager's meeting today with the newspaper, the sports page. Go on to YouTube, create an account, hit subscribe. And Maceo, you can also have it, and for the listening audience, alert. It will alert you when we have any new content. So I had to get him set up, and like, Maceo, look, man, listen, there's not a week that goes by that content is not created. Yeah. So hopefully I got him straight. My supervisor, same boat. And so he says, so does that mean I got to create an account? I said, yes. Just put in your emails. Very simple. It's free. I think maybe he thought it was going to be some kind of a charge involved. And if they want to pay us something, if you want to donate us $1 or $2 to watch,
you need to get an account, like a Patreon account or something.
So be it. But anyway, it's all free, just free coverage here. So tune in. Maceo and Anthony, just put in the comments section hashtag CC Fantasy or hashtag Maceo, hashtag Anthony. If you made it this far, I'd be stunned. But if so, put it in the comments section for us. Other than that, that'll wrap us up for tonight. And we'll look forward to seeing everyone next week. Have a great evening and go Hoos.